Hey everybody, it's Steve Rosenbaum here, and I've got another success story, something I'm very, very excited about because Darien Hill from Orlando is on the line. I'm going to bring him on in a second, but it's really cool because Darien's just been in offline funnel mastery for a relatively short period of time, and he's doing some amazing things. So I want to bring on my friend Darien Hill. Darien, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing well, Steve. Thank you so much for having me on this interview. It's absolutely a pleasure and honor to be here with you.
Well, thank you. Believe me, the pleasure's all mine because I love when people take action, and I love when it leads to success, as it has for you. So, tell me about it. Now, your company name is YDG Web Marketing, is it right?
That's right. That's right. YDG Web Marketing, and we're a local marketing company here in the Orlando, Florida area, and we provide local marketing services. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start. I love to start with the success right off the bat. What's going on?
All right. So, one of the great things that has happened for us so far is taking what you teach, Steve, with the back end principles, and really starting to transform what we've been previously doing, which is pitching the commodity, right? The SEOs of the world, social media, the websites. And now we are taking the approach of going into a client and saying, listen, we want to put together a full marketing system that's going to help you from soup to nuts, helping you to the lead generation, taking you all the way through the process of lead nurturing, and ultimately the follow-up that's going to lead to converting those prospects or suspects into actual business. And so, like many of the potential listeners or many of the marketers, we're out there trying to build our business over the last few years, and we've been focusing on core products, SEO, social media, and website development. But when we joined the offline funnel mastery, we saw a totally new approach into how do we know effectively go after business and separate ourselves from the competition. And it's really about what you teach, Steve. It's about making sure that you have the proper back end in place. I love that term. It's so awesome, right? It's funny, but it's so true because, I'm passionate about getting my clients results, and I was always concerned about just selling them a service. And so joining your mastermind was absolutely refreshing to hear how we can literally help clients really with their business. And so recently, we actually got an opportunity. I did a speaking engagement at the Chamber of Commerce where I talked about Facebook advertising. And that led to a one-on-one sit down with a wealth management company who was looking to leverage social media more effectively. However, they didn't have a system in place. So typically we would go to the client and we would pitch an SEO package or we'll pitch a social media package. But this time we did something totally different. We actually took your principle and your model, and we put together a step-by-step, flow chart showing how we would leverage, yes, Facebook as a traffic source, drive them to a landing page, and then put them into an email marketing or automated marketing system that has a follow-up campaign. Okay, and as a result, the client was just blown away by the graph. I mean, I'm still trying to understand, what is it about the graph itself that just one creates a higher perceived value, first of all, and secondly, they're just blown away. They seem like they just get it, and it makes sense. So the only thing that we're disappointed about is the fact that we don't think we charged enough.
Well, there's always next time.
But it's always next time. And again, it was a stepping stone. It's an opportunity for us to get in the door, see that what you're teaching with the back-end blueprint really works. And clients, what I think it is, Steve, clients get it. If for the first time, it's almost like the light bulb goes off and they notice that they have all the pieces to the puzzle, but they just needed somebody to come in and say, hey, listen, here's the piece, here's this piece, but here's how it works together and how it's going to make sense to get results in a world that they already understand. So it was absolutely fantastic. And so we closed that deal. Then go ahead. You had a question?
Well, first of all, I love it. Masterfully done, I have to tell you. Very, very good. I love when you say clients just get it. I couldn't agree with you more. It's speaking their language because they want measurable results.
I see.
You mentioned, so I want to ask, how much did you charge them and what are you doing for that service?
All right. So we incorporated, like I said, Facebook as a traffic source. So we charged them $1,500 to set up a funnel. Okay. So basically, it was the traffic source is Facebook advertising. We set up a lead page opt-in box for them. And then I think it was a thank you page. We set up their MailChimp, or I think it was Constant Contact at the time. At the time we weren't really didn't know about lead outcome. So unfortunately, we didn't pitch lead outcome, but now we're all over lead outcome. So we definitely use MailChimp and Constant Contact at the time. And then we also provide them with some email follow-up campaigns as well. Okay. So that was the basic funnel that we basically sold for about $1,500. All right. But again, the clients just got it. And so that's how we started.
So it seems like it was an easy sale.
It was very, very easy, very easy.
That's probably why you think you didn't charge enough, because it was such an easy sale.
That's true. That's true. Because the guy, when I told the guy the price, he was like, "Oh, that's easy." So what it told me was the perceived value in his mind was much higher, right? And we see that. I mean, he thought he probably was going to pay $5,000 because we showed them the blueprint, and it's something about showing them the blueprint. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's like the blueprint for a house. That's going to cost me $1 million."
I love that. Good for you. Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was this the first time you ever presented it?
Absolutely. First time presenting the blueprint in the format that, again, we didn't use the LEAC proof formula, which is your formula, but we used something similar because I'm still learning the LEAC proof formula format, and I want to be able to learn it effectively to present it in that way, so that we're more aligned with how you do it, the questions you're asking. But we did come up with our own formula. We're action takers, like you said. We believe in taking imperfect action, and we just put something together that made sense, and they loved it. So that was absolutely great.
All right. Now, I think you started to tell me when we were on the phone earlier that you've got another success story brewing. Is that right?
Actually, two of them, believe it or not. I mean, this whole back-end blueprint thing has totally transformed my business. I'm not just saying that. I see it clearly now in the conversations we're having with the prospects. So a commercial real estate firm came to us, and they have something called an agent services program. Basically, they're looking for listing agents who want to leverage themselves, take all the paperwork that they're dealing with. They would basically hand that for listing agent. So what they're currently doing is they're currently doing teleclasses. They're trying to get these agents on the teleclass to pitch them their services. So what I did was I said, you know what? I think a webinar marketing funnel would be perfect for these guys, right? So I put together a very similar flow chart showing how we can leverage, let's say, LinkedIn and as a traffic source and Facebook as a traffic source to connect with those listing agents. But this time we would drive them to a webinar registration page, and then we would have a thank you page. Then they would opt in, and then I show them how they now could effectively follow up automatically without having to chase these people down continuously. So I presented that, and this time I jacked up the price from the last one about $500, right? And I gotta tell you, it was kind of nerve-wracking at first because I was like, oh my God. But they looked at it and they were like, the guy was like, okay, this is easy. And I said, wait, hold on a second. This is not happening. Right?
Did you get the sale?
Well, here's the thing. We got even better. They were so impressed by the format of the blueprint. They want us to come back and do everything. They want us to come back and revamp their whole website. They want us to actually come back in and do all their video production. The guy basically said, listen, I know you guys can do it for me. I want you to give me the whole package now. Because they have a number of things they were trying to do. And what we like to do with clients is to say, listen, where's your highest priority right now? And so we came in just with the initial high priority that we discussed on our initial call. But once we got there and they saw what we could do, once they saw the blueprint, they said, we want to do everything with you guys.
Hey, so, Darien, hang on a second. You deserve this. There you go.
Thank you.
let me interject a second. You're very excited, and I love it. But I got to get a few words in here because the first thing is definitely congratulations. You said it. I mean, you've only been in offline funnel mastery a couple months, I think. Is that right?
About a month.
A month. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you had told me that you'd been in business, YDG web marketing, for about 5 years.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Right. So in 1 month, these were your words a few minutes ago. You said the back-end blueprint has transformed your business in 1 month. You've gone out there, got 2 new clients for a total of $3,500 by my count.
That's right.
And you're already seeing what you may not be familiar with this because this was a term I used in my previous training, but you've executed what I call the Trojan horse. Have you heard me talking about the Trojan horse?
I haven't heard that. This is my first time.
Okay. In my How to Be a Back-End Specialist, I talk about the Trojan horse.
Right.
You just pulled it off naturally, okay? Which is you get in, you lead with your back end.
Right.
You get in with a service because they just get it, because they look at you and they point at you and say, that makes sense. And then they say, what else can you do for me? I need this done, I need this done, I need this done. And that's what we call the Trojan horse. Are you familiar with the Trojan horse story and history?
To some degree, yes.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and Google it or look at a Wikipedia. But basically it was this. And I got to go review it too. But the Trojan horse was a gift, okay? It was a big wooden horse that when the two forces, the Trojans and I don't know who, maybe this terrible, maybe the Spartans, but they're at war. Right. And so they give them what looks like a gift because what it was a big wooden horse on wheels. Well, hiding inside the horse were all the soldiers. So when they opened the gates to the fort to accept the gift and they pushed the wooden horse in there, and at night, all the soldiers came down out of the horse and attacked the fort, killed everybody, and conquered the fort. They took over everything is the bottom line.
Gotcha.
It got them past the gate, and then they took over everything.
Right.
Now, that's what you did. You got past the gate because you led with the back end. You demonstrated you knew what you're talking about. They were impressed by the process. They were impressed by the presentation. They were impressed by you. And they said, yes, this is exactly what we need. The key word that you hear me talking about, do you remember this when I said the key word that business owners are looking for? Do you remember what I'm going to say?
The key word is simplicity or?
Close. It does start with an S. I'm going for strategy.
Strategy.
Okay?
Yes.
You're bringing to them strategy. Everybody else is talking about things. They're talking about things. SEO is a thing. WordPress is a thing. Mobile marketing is a thing. SMS texting, social media. Those are all things. Those are all things that are spinning on their own wheels independently. You're coming with a strategy and you're talking about how to take these things, connect them together, because you know what happens with precision and leverage. What happens when we get these tools working together, we start being able to execute much better, get results, and so forth. So I just need to say I'm so excited, thrilled, and impressed by what you've accomplished with your first month here in Offline Funnel Mastery. So that's fantastic, Darien.
Well, thank you, Steve. I mean, and I mean, I'm glad that I found you.
Well, tell me more. You said there was another one, I think, right?
Yeah, well, this is the one I want to talk to you about because it may be something that, you know, potentially we may need your help on.
Okay.
And we were brought an opportunity to speak to I think it's a FMO, very large insurance company out of Texas. And they basically are one of the largest FMOs in the country. They have about over, I think it's 15,000 agents. Okay. And right now their goal is obviously to recruit more agents. That's their overall goal. I had the opportunity yesterday to pitch them again on a funnel of using LinkedIn as the lead source, driving them through a webinar marketing funnel, creating a database, and then following up on that database. I utilize the same system of previous. I had one of the directors on the line. I had two directors on the line that basically covered two different regions. And I was supposed to have a gentleman by the name of Chris, who is one of the owners of the company. But unfortunately, he couldn't make it. He was in California and something came up. But the two individuals that were on the line were very impressed, again, by the overall back-end strategy and the process that I laid out for them, showing them now how they can take what they're doing manually and automate the process, create a strategy and a system around being able to get agents to a process and then ultimately pitch them on their services or pitch them on their opportunity to be able to recruit them into the organization. They're a big company, like I said, over 15,000 agents. And so, now starting off with this new process, I'm saying, wow, we are creating some waves. It's a big boy. And how do we now go about really making sure that we apply not just a simple system that we have created for other companies, but maybe more of a LEAC system where we're asking the right questions. We are, because the next step for us is they want to bring the owner on and they want to bring their marketing person on. And so we need to be prepared to really demonstrate the proper process. So we are in talks with a major company right now, nationally, to get something done.
May I ask how you came across them or how they came across you?
Well, there's a local agent here in Orlando who's a partner of mine, a strategic partner of mine, and he works with them. And he was telling me about the company and tell me about the initiative. And so he introduced us to this organization because they're not doing anything, they're not leveraging the social networks at all. And so that's how I got the introduction. He pushed for a call and I put together a presentation again, showing them an overall strategy and blueprint. And they were very, very impressed. So there's tremendous opportunity in this. And so I'm looking forward to being able to learn your process more effectively so we can really make sure we're making an impact. And then we charge what we do. I mean, I kind of told them it may cost them anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah,
is what is the numbers I pitch because I figured this is a big project. I need to go big.
So now may I give a little advice also?
Sure.
Okay. Now, besides just putting the funnels together.
Yes.
You need to talk about the ongoing maintenance. You need to keep yourself employed. You don't want to just get a big paycheck and hand it off.
That's correct.
All right. So you need to do that. I want to give you a gift. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. I'm so impressed with your success, and I know you're going to go to the next levels. But in speaking with you, I can tell already that you need some more information. I've got a product called How to Be a Back-End Specialist. It's 12 modules in what used to be my back-end certification program, which I'm currently not doing, but I've got the 12 core modules that made that up. And it's great training, I have to say. All right. And I sell that for $997, but I want to give that to you because I think it's going to help you really go to the next level.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Okay. So if I just heard you right, because I'm having some trouble, I think the system is breaking down on your end, and maybe because you're giving away such a great gift, it's just breaking down. But if I'm hearing you right, you said that you're going to provide us with the certification program. Is that correct?
I'm going to give you the recordings. Yes, I'm going to give you the recordings that made up the certification program. The one thing I want to be clear about is I'm not doing certification at this time. All right. But the training, the education, it's all there. All right. So it's everything. You will go through the same program. For instance, we talk about the Trojan horse. We also talk about what I call about influencing the influencer. You've already taken the first natural step there, but I want you to learn more about that. Okay. What I really want you to learn more about is the monthly maintenance. Okay. What you're going to do so that you get paid every single month. I want this to be a recurring big deal for you. I don't want it to be a one-time big deal. I want it to be a big deal for you that lasts month after month after month. Let's not lose sight of the fact that this whole time the customer is benefiting. you're not going to stay employed unless the customer is always benefiting. So I want to make sure that you are doing the things that are going to make sure that they are always getting the results. Okay. And then I want to make sure you get the credit for those results so that you're always employed. I want you to, I want you to keep that going on and on and on. So yes, you heard correctly. It is a great gift, but you deserve it. And I want you to have it as a gift from me.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that, appreciate that. But can I add one thing? Can I add one thing?
Please go ahead.
I just so you know, and I forgot to mention this in the case studies, we did charge a monthly retainer fee. Okay? So for the first example I gave, we're charging $500 a month maintenance.
Good.
And for the second one, I believe it's right around the same, about $500. So we're looking at about $1,000 a month right there in retainer. So absolutely, we did listen to some of your trainings that talked about that. So yes, so thank you for all you do. Appreciate
You're very welcome. You said we many times. How many people are in your company?
Oh, it's a family company. It's myself. My brother is my business partner. And we also have 2 additional team members that handle 2 departments. We have our design department, which is run by Jonathan Pleska. And we also have a young lady who runs our social media and email marketing division as well. And so we're looking to expand, of course, because for me, I love to present, I like to speak, and I love to do more on the sales and marketing end. And we can have our team members in place. In fact, I don't know, I would like, as a sidebar, maybe ask you a question about scaling the business, because it's very important for us to be able to scale. And we are looking for maybe companies that provide some of the services that's within the funnel, so we can present on higher level and have team members put those together for us.
Sure.
Yeah.
So go ahead and ask the question.
So, how do we scale? How do we go from where we are to scaling the company, so that as we're bringing on more clients, because I'm starting to see it happen, we're getting a snowball from this new back-end blueprint process, to make sure that we don't grow too fast and we're handling the workload and providing what we said we're going to provide.
Beautiful. All right. So it's a wonderful question. There's certain things that we're doing that are designed to help you scale. And you've heard of me speak about lead outcome campaign kits. Okay.
That's good.
All right. Now, they're in the making and they're always growing, but you and I can speak offline, not as part of this. We don't want to get into details right now, but if you have certain campaigns that you want to go out and offer to many, many, many different clients, we can talk about designing those campaigns once and then turning them into a campaign kit. And then a lot of the work is done for them. Similarly, do you do any WordPress work?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Similarly, I have a process for what I call an AMP, which is an automated marketing portal. Have you heard me talk about AMPs?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So what an automated marketing portal is, most people are using WordPress, I think, the wrong way. And they use their websites the wrong way. Most people, it's a static place on the web that's really just an electronic business card.
Yes.
WordPress really needs to be the hub, the marketing, headquarters, the nervous system all has to emanate from that WordPress system. And it has to be set up and configured the right way, using right plugins, using the right strategies, tied into follow-up campaigns, have your lead capture, have your scarcity, have your urgency, have all these things done for you. And so we configure that WordPress the exact right way once, and then we could replicate that. And then we call that the automated marketing portal. So what you and I can do is design what you want to go to market with and say, this is exactly what an automated marketing portal is. This is a campaign kit that we want to go to market with many times. We design that once, and then a lot of that work is done for you. Okay, so that's going to help you scale tremendously. I've also forged some very important relationships, which you're welcome to use my relationship if it helps you. But I'm a huge fan of James Maduke of WP Blog Support out of Ottawa. He does he does very specific and specialized WordPress hosting, different than anybody else I've ever seen. And his customer service is just off the chain. I mean, he's phenomenal. So he's a great guy, and he can help you with that leverage. He's got services in place to help you with leverage. Of course, there's lead outcome. I certainly recommend that you start getting into lead outcome, and because of the way it's set up, it could help you with the scaling process as well. Sure. You've already got some pieces in place. You've already got some personnel. That's great. What we want to do is we want to automate and make replicatable as much as we can so that we could utilize your talented and valuable and probably pricey help as where we're going to get the most reward. It's great to have that help. We want to make sure that we're spending it the most efficient way possible, and we can do that when we can automate the rest of that stuff. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. Yes.
And does it answer your question?
It does. And that's some of the things that we were thinking about. Is we were thinking that you needed to add more personnel, right? Or maybe find a company that provides some of the services that we can leverage, like content writing and things like that for the emails. And so we were actively looking for someone to do that. So these are some of the concerns we've had. Yes.
Sure.
So it did answer the question.
Well, let's start there because, as in everything else, let's try to leverage. Business is all about leverage. So you're right. We might need content, but let's face it, a lot of our content is going to be the same from company to company to company. It might change because maybe those companies are in a different industry, but let's face it, if somebody has a new customer, we want to send them a new letter that says, thank you for buying our product. Okay. Right. Now, if they're a doctor, we don't want to say, thank you for buying our product. We want to say, thank you for becoming a new patient. Okay. But the content is going to be the same. We got customer follow-up campaigns. We got customer reactivation campaigns. We got prospect welcoming and filtering campaigns. They're the same. We just need to tweak the wording to fit the company and the industry. All right. So let's leverage automation as much as possible. Let's not go out there and write 15 emails. Let's have 15 emails all ready to put into their account and go in there and tweak them as needed. Does that make sense?
I love that. I love the whole swipe and deploy.
Beautiful. All right. Darien, I'm going to have to wind this down in a moment, but again, I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you, but it's really phenomenal. How many existing clients do you have now outside of just Backend Blueprint? Total clients, how many active clients do you currently have?
Right now, we have about 25 active clients.
Okay.
25 active clients.
And they're all paying you something every month for doing some of these basic, what you would refer to as commodity services.
Right. That's correct. Yeah.
So certainly, I imagine you're going to start approaching all of them about back-end business.
That's absolutely right. We're changing our model totally.
Okay. Your database right now, you've been in business 5 years. You have a list, you have a database of local Orlando companies. What's that look like? We have not done what we've been teaching, to be quite honest with you. We just signed up for Lead Outcome, and we have a stack of business cards, and I'm just going to be frank. We actually are having one of our staff members starting to upload those details into Lead Outcome. Okay.
And put together our own follow-up process.
Hang on a second. You ever seen one of these? You ever seen one of these?
Yeah. In fact, we just bought one. What is that? Is that the neat? Is that the neat?
It's not the neat, but it's a Fujitsu. Neat will work. Neat's good too. So, okay. Good. Excellent. Here's what I would do. You're into Lead Outcome. Write yourself a welcoming write yourself, if these are past customers, write a campaign that says, hey, it's Darien. You remember us because you've done business with us, and we want to just say hello, tell you we're sorry that we haven't been in touch, but let you know what we're doing right now to really help businesses just like yours. All right?
Cool.
All right. That's a reactivation campaign, what I call sales CPR. You will find many of those people are going to raise their hands and say, yes, we want to do business with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you're a natural, Darien. You've got great instincts. how to be a back-end specialist is just going to help you shorten that learning curve.
That's certainly what it has done. I mean, absolutely. No ifs.
And I'm going to help you even more with that. Now, I want to leave this with one more thing that really, really impressed me, and I want to ask you how you did it.
Sure.
You told me you spoke at the Chamber of Commerce, and then you followed up with a company that ended up being a paying customer.
Right.
Okay. Tell me about that. Tell me that process of how you hooked up with that company.
Okay, so basically I'm a chamber member. So I contacted the chamber, asked them to do a Facebook marketing presentation. They agreed, and so I hosted the presentation, had about 35 business owners present. Once I did the presentation, I basically did a contest. I gave them a short little reputation video as a giveaway. So that was my way to collect the business cards at the end. Okay. After I did that, the next step was I sent out a survey. I used that Survey Monkey. I think it's WooForms. I sent out a WooForm, basically asking them to give me some feedback and letting me know what additional services or topics they would be interested in. And then also I asked the question, would you be open to a 15-minute consultation as well? And if you are, put your phone number. So they did that. Many did, and one of the company that we actually signed up, they did as well. And then once he did that, he actually emailed me and said, hey, I was so impressed. Give me a call right away because we need to get something going. I need to talk to you. So I called him up, set up an appointment, went out to see him and his partner, and we went through a discovery process, answering some questions, found out where their leaky parts of their funnels are. And then went back in, did a second presentation, showing them the overall blueprint, and they just fell out of their chair and said, we're ready to get started.
Phenomenal. Beautifully done. You deserve 2 more of these.
Thank you.
There you go.
You're making go ahead.
No. I am so impressed. I am so impressed. And humbled also just to hear you going through that and seeing you put into practice the things that you've learned at Offline Funnel Mastery in such a short time, executing so well. And think of the numbers here. What do I always say are people that are ready, willing, and able? What percent?
I remember you did that. I've been watching so many of your videos.
Okay. That's okay. I'll help you out here. I always say that 3 to 5% of the people are ready, willing, and able.
Right.
Okay, 3 to 5%. You just told me that there were 35 people in a room.
Right.
One of them raised their hand and said, we want to do business right now.
Right.
Do you know what percentage that is?
Probably about 3 to 5.
It's just under 3%, I believe, isn't it? Let's see here. 1 divided by 35.
But that's not the only one, though. We are still working with some other clients who are interested as well. So that's not the only one.
Well, that's okay. I mean, great. 2.8%. Okay.
2.8. Oh, wow. Okay.
So you did it brilliantly, because here's what you didn't do. You didn't waste your breath on 34 meaningless conversations. You put a system in place that allowed you to immediately filter. Now, you said there's going to be more. I expect there to be more. And in order for that to happen, you have to nurture them. So I know you're doing that as well. All right. So the 3 to 5%, those are ready, willing, and able. They sign up right now. They raise their hand and say, I want to do this right now. And that's exactly what they said to you, isn't it?
That's right. They did say that.
Now there's going to be more. So
are you reading my mind?
What's that?
I say, are you reading my mind, Steve?
Darien, I hate to tell you, I've been doing this longer than you've been walking this earth, but I'm thrilled to hear you doing it so well.
And I love that. That's awesome.
But now you're going to nurture them, and now you're going to find the next ones that are ready, willing, and able. So absolutely just terrific execution. Tell me, I don't recall you being real active in our Facebook group, are you?
You know what? I've been so busy, believe it or not, with the whole back-end blueprint and all these new clients that we're onboarding now. Haven't been as active, but I will be, and I can certainly contribute as much as I can. Because yes, I would love to be able to help, some of the other members as well, share some of my case studies. There's so much more on the table. I'm trying to even get in with banks right now to leverage them. And so that's something else we can talk about later on. I have some great relationship with two big banks here in Central Florida.
We definitely want to talk about that, and I might have something else to bring you in on with another marketer that I'm working on. So we'll have that conversation at another time.
Okay.
The plug for the Facebook group here is twofold. Number one, thank you for saying what you said. It's important to me that the members pay it forward. They have that success. They share it. You're doing that right now. You're walking the walk by opening up with the case study, and I'm going to ask you to do that more on Facebook. But you'll get it in return also, because we have people that have experience in the insurance industry, and you've got an opportunity right now in the insurance industry. And there's people like Kevin and a few more that I can think of that are in that industry. So I think they'd be good people for you to network with. We just crossed 1,000 member threshold, so it's a great, vibrant community. You've got a lot to contribute, and you also have a lot to benefit.
No, fantastic. I mean, I'm open to give back because, like I said, I know through your efforts and your diligence in wanting to serve, our business is being changed. So we understand that life is about circulation. And so we certainly want to give as much as we're receiving. And I'll certainly do a video testimonial. In my short space of time and being a part of your community, I'll do a testimonial and share it in the group. Whatever I need to do to contribute, I'm good to go.
Well, please, I'd love that. I'd love that for my own site. So please do send that along. In the meantime, I want to thank you. When we finish off here, I will go turn on how to be a back-end specialist for you. It's my gift, and I hope I know you're going to enjoy it. I know you're going to put it to good use.
I'm getting at it right now, man.
Keep up the great work, Darien.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you. Be blessed. Have a great trip to the airport, okay?
Well,
and so do I look in the back office? Is it going to be active in the back office?
It'll take me about 5 minutes to do that, okay? I'll do that before I go to the airport. My son's coming in from New York today, so I got to go pick him up. But I will get that done before I run out the door.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve. You're a blessing.
Thank you. With you too, Darien. Believe me. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.